purpose of moving frames is to showcase Haitian creativity and talent in the film industry. I started offering the work for free for production companies in Miami. I had a good feeling about it. That's why I did it. But then you just never know.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. 1-2. It's your host, the one and only Serious Jason of the Serious Podcast. And before we even start, y'all, make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast as well. And y'all, we're continuing our current, episodes of spotlighting creatives here, cinematographers. Oh my Lord, I can't even speak, but photographers, videographers, filmmakers, storytellers, people who are creating things of substance as well. And I just want to go ahead and just introduce our guest, y'all, because I'm super excited, man. We got one of the founders of let me make sure I do this correct. The Moving Frames Film Festival here in South Florida, a Haitian film festival spotlighting Haitian creatives and filmmakers as well. He has credits working for Essence Magazine, Variety Fair, correct? Vanity Fair. Oh, Lord, y'all, I might have to get fired. Vanity Fair. He has worked with Doja Cat, Kodak Black. Man, this man, he's doing the job, man. And also, he's a director of photography. So if y'all need anything in regards to cameras, lighting, making sure you get the best angles, Mr. Anthony Calix is the one to do it, y'all. So let's go ahead and make some noise for our guests. Oh, Lord. Oh, there it is. Let's make some noise for him, yo. Brother, it's a pleasure to have you on our episode, on our podcast as well. And I've been seeing what you've been doing. People have been sending me the work that you've been doing and it's stuff of substance. And, you're giving back to the Haitian community. You're spotlighting Haitian filmmakers and creatives here in South Florida, man. So it's a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you looking at the work, too. So
yeah,
it's always nice to get a little external validation. It's
healthy, man, because we're making sure you get your spotlight and your flowers as well.
Thank you.
So, man, with that being said, so how, being, Haitian and living in a Caribbean household, how did you even get, choose that career? With our parents, for my parents at least, I know they're the ones that's I want you to be a lawyer, doctor, what I'm saying? They don't want to see us in that creative space or creative field. So how did you, start your journey in the film world as a director, getting into this, the position of director of photography?
Well, it was always something I wanted to do since I was a kid. I spent a lot of times especially growing up Haitian, I spent a lot of time inside. They really, my parents really reinforced, if you Haitian, l'église, l'école, la caille. And
they say the 3 L's.
Yeah. Just church, school, the house. So I spent a lot of times watching movies. I spent a lot of time watching behind the scenes too. That was probably what really drove my interest into film was paying attention to behind the scenes and seeing how in depth the entire process was. But to your point, Haitians are super practical with their kids. So I remember at one point I ended up getting a job at Chase Bank, then I was able to move up and move into working at American Express, Platinum Division.
Oh,
so yeah. So I was the dude answering the calls and doing the whole voice and whatnot.
I know with that your parents were oh, good, get money, get your. Exactly.
So I stayed there for a long time, and then I kind of pushed my dream of film to the side because I just felt I'm making great money.
Yeah,
I bought a new car, cash. I'm traveling around the world now. I'm I'm good. I kind of deluded myself.
Yeah,
and then that was when I learned the big lesson of
pushing your dreams away.
Yeah, it's
making that sacrifice.
Yeah, it's the big lesson of money really, really doesn't buy happiness. Because even though I was making so much money, I was doing commissions and all that. I was getting commissions and all that. It's eventually it just started eating at me, showing up and sitting at the desk and wearing the suit and tie and all that all day. It just wore me out. So I eventually started finding ways to PA. I started offering the work for free for production companies in Miami. So I was the guy fetching coffees. I was
do you remember the first PA company or role film that you worked on or assisted?
Yeah, I worked on it was a smaller music video for some local artists. Unfortunately, I don't really remember his name.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the IG stars that was on there was Nick Paddywhack. I don't know if you remember that dude.
I think he's the guy with the Supreme headband, or that's somebody else.
Nah, it was some guy like I think like if you remember a couple years back, he used to walk around. It was like a black dude used to walk around with that dancer Dan.
I think I know you're talking.
He's like
about.
Peter Piper.
Oh,
like that guy. Yeah. They used to be like a duo, and he was on there.
Yep.
And I remember that was like the first gig I worked. It was with a director, a really great director in Miami named John Jay.
Shout out.
Yeah. He was a really dope director. And I kind of just kept it going. From there, just offering my work for free as a PA. So I was down to fetch coffees, grab snacks for everybody, like clean up floors, all that. So that's really where I started. And then I just networked and worked my way out of being a PA into the camera department. And then a few years later, I just kept learning as much as I can on set, and then I got the confidence to sort of venture out on my own and start shooting and directing, DPing. I mean,
I can only imagine too, like coming from, like you said, you were working for Amex Chase Bank, and you're in a suit, you're used to this, that atmosphere of doing your own stuff, getting paid well, and then basically kind of going down to like being a PA, which is like you're cleaning, you're helping people, you're reporting to someone. So I can only imagine like. Not disconnect, but like that kind of not frustration, but like what would you say like during that experience of you just starting like going from your main job and then being a PA on the side? Like what was that? Were you like I'm happy I'm getting my foot in the door? It's like an introduction.
For me, there was initially like a lot of like hesitation, I would say, because it was like I'm going from making I think at the time, because it was an entry-level position, I think with like sales and stuff, I was making like close to like 80, 85. And then to go to making, PA rate, like you're doing.
And you completely left your job at that point.
Yeah. At some point, I just got sick of it. Once I started getting traction as a PA, I just left because I literally couldn't even show up. That was the big lesson for me. Like I even started getting sick. Like I started getting migraines and stuff every time I went to that job.
So like you just felt. You just had to get out.
Yeah, I just felt like I had to get out. It was one of those just hard lessons of like, even if you, like everything has its cap. Like you can only delude yourself for so long, especially like when you have a dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, once I was like getting depressed, I started catching random migraines at work. I was just like, I gotta. It's like holding on to a burning rope.
Yeah.
Like you're making all this money, but you're miserable. You're making all this money, but you can't really even live with yourself on the day-to-day. Like it just got exhausting. It's like I just had to let go of it.
And so with that whole just like career change, when you made that pivot, since then what was the next role that made you realize, you could do it, you're doing it, like I'm actually doing it, I'm basically director of photography, you're doing the job, like you land your first DP role? Like when did you know like, okay, this is me and I'm enjoying it, I'm doing it?
For me it was I started shooting like smaller music videos. A couple of them are still on my profile my IG to this day. But it was when people started noticing like, oh, you have like an actual taste, like you have style. Because a lot of people can shoot, they can just get a camera and just roll it and try to make something look flashy. It's another thing to have like a certain taste or like je ne sais quoi. Like even people don't really understand all the like nuances you've put into an image. They can still feel it.
Yeah. So basically, what does that look like? So what does that look like when, like, basically for you, like getting that angle on the camera, making it have style, that je ne sais quoi that you said, of course.
Yeah. What is it? You're saying
like for you, like what does it look like for you, like getting that shot, getting that like that angle, or making it have style, basically, instead of doing like just doing like a basic shot or angle?
Yeah, it's one, it's an understanding of like all the technicals. It's interesting with film because like I feel like it's like the perfect fusion of like artistry, but also like technical prowess as well.
Yeah,
because it's almost like you learn the camera technicals so you can kind of forget them. Yeah. So for me, I kind of always just go by the rule of thumb of going back to whatever something's about. And when I say that, I mean like
what the artist is trying to, like, what their goal is, basically, with the project or with the video.
What are we actually shooting here? What's the theme behind this? What are the greater themes we're trying to explore? and just making decisions based on that. So that way, every decision I make, it's very intentional, and there's a reason behind it. So like you eventually, you're making all these nuanced decisions ahead of time, or even when you're on set.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like this sort of amalgamation of like intention and creation, that people can just feel. Like even if like I said, like people don't understand like, oh, we're on a steady cam now, and then we went to a handheld, like, you know, they'll at least feel like, oh, this has weight to it. This has like a sort of like gravitas, you know.
Yeah.
So,
damn, there's layers to it, y'all. It's not just me holding the camera. There's more intentions to that shot, to what you're seeing being displayed. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Thank
and
you,
so you basically kind of learned this. I know you said you learned it as you go, or how did you are you self-taught? Like, how did you learn like the technicalities of all of a camera and etc.?
Yeah, I'm pretty much self-taught. I remember I went to Palm Beach State while I was still working at the bank. I went to Palm Beach State for film for a little bit, but they kind of had me stuck like taking prerequisites.
Oh yeah, so you were just probably watching a film for extra.
Yeah, so I was credit. Like, by the time I was leaving the bank, I was just like, man, I'm gonna figure it out. Like I always had that confidence I'll figure things out. I kind of always did. Yeah. Even with the bank, I kind of finessed my way into that. I just figured it out. I was like the youngest person they ever hired. I was probably like 20. I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 when I started working for American Express. And like I remember too, they were just like, "Oh, we're going out for drinks," and I'm just like, "I'm not legal." They're like, "What? Are you serious?"
Yeah.
But yeah. So for me, I'm mostly self-taught, and I'm self-taught, and then again, it helps to sort of be on set as well.
Yeah.
So I've just pretty much spent my time like really diving in the books,
getting hands-on experience, seeing it for yourself, trial and error.
Exactly. Yeah, and then again, like when you're self-taught, it helps to sort of it helps to be on set too, because you're seeing in real time like what the professionals are actually doing, what the great artists, the people that are 10, 20 years ahead of you, what they're actually doing versus what's just theory in your book. So you kind of start learning what the practical language of like cinematography is. Like you're learning the technicals through the books, but then you're also like in real time watching people and going, okay, that's the thing that I just learned about. Okay, that's why they always do that.
Yeah.
And et cetera. So
that's dope. And so pretty sure you met a variety of veterans in that space, in that career field, excuse me.
Yeah.
What was some advice like they gave you like that kind of helped shape like how you direct basically a shot in a scene?
Mm-hmm. Well, the greatest one was from one of my good friends, like Sam Brave. He was the one that really told me, because that simple lesson of just always remember what the thing is actually about. What is this project actually about? What is this story actually about? And then make your decisions based around that. And it sort of simplifies like a lot of things, because the beauty is like, especially like when it comes to creative things, is like you really got to learn. The creativity is from your limitations. So if you go into a project thinking you have all the options in the world, you'll never get anything done, because you very rarely, if ever, have all the options in the world.
Yeah.
So again, when you sort of create that box of, well, what is this even about? You can make more informed decisions. Like if we're doing a story like one of my last films, Rewrite, it's a story about a father and son, Haitian father and son, sort of dealing with their differences in upbringing, differences in opinion and like mental health and parenting strategies based on like what's traditional, like old school, and then versus what's contemporary. Today, contemporary. And at the end of the day, like when we're lighting this story, like when I'm making my lighting decisions, I'm just thinking like, okay, well, if this is supposed to be a heart-to-heart moment with a father and son, is there any reason why this frame should be completely blue or some random color if it doesn't really
doesn't align
sense
with the what's occurring in the scene?
Exactly. So that right there off the bat sort of limits like the box you can operate in. But again, it's like it's within those confines that you get the most creative like ideas from. So again, like that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Like, just keep all your decisions around what the story's actually about.
Yeah. Oh, that's real. And like you mentioned too, like I love that you mentioned that like when you're kind of in a box and you're kind of limited, that kind of like forces you to think outside of it. Literally try to be as creative as you can be with the limited amount of things that you have.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real for sure. I might start doing that for myself. I might see we have a set here. I might have to think bigger and go elsewhere or go on a roof and shoot a podcast. But no, that's dope too. And like I know you mentioned that project as well. Can you just shed more light on it as well? Because I know you mentioned well, it's basically mental health and how like a father and son, like basically further back in the days, how it was back then and how it is today, basically clashing together. Can you just speak more on that as well?
Yeah. So Rewrite was actually one of the films I showcased at Moving Frames, a Haitian Renaissance, our film festival. It was actually Moving Frames is like my first directorial debut. So I directed it and DP'd it as well, which was interesting to do both at the same time because I've been warned not to do it. I kind of see why, but it worked out.
So you put on another hat, basically. You put on multiple hats that day.
I had like 3 hats on because I helped produce it as well, which is also a first for me. But yeah, the story is essentially about the lead character Owns. It was a story written by Francie Moreau, based on like his true life. A true life story. And again, it's basically about Owens. He's a writer in college, and he's tasked with sort of redoing his essay. And in the midst of doing his essay, he sort of needs to sort of confront himself because the issues that he's having on his essay are just based on limitations he's having within himself. Like there's a truth that he sort of needs to find in order to put substance into his writing. And while he's trying to figure that and going about life, he runs into his estranged father. And they haven't spoken in a while because of basically how his father abused him and made his life sort of very difficult.
Yeah.
The abuse stemming from his father also dealing with similar things from his father, which is Owens' grandfather. And, now we have 2 men sort of meeting, and they're trying to reconcile, but they can't necessarily get over that gap between each other because they're not getting to the core of it, which is it's not just that
it's not like you're making a compromise or
right. Reconcile. What I would always say is like reconciliation isn't always on one person. Like the weight of it can't be on one person.
Yeah.
So it takes 2 people to sort of understand, like, yes, there was wrongs that was done, maybe on one side or both sides, but at the end of the day, how do we necessarily, like, address the problem? How do we validate each other, but then also, bear witness to each other's, like, pains, the things his father's done to him and that he may have done to his father as well, and how do we meet in the middle and address the problem without focusing too much on blame. Because everyone wants to be validated, but at the end of the day, if we just sit here blaming each other, we don't really get anything done. So they eventually have to come together, and I don't want to spoil the whole movie.
And if they don't, like, they bump heads. Right, there's no solution. Nobody comes to like a solution at all.
Right. So by the end of the movie, they sort of reconcile and hash it out as father and son, and I don't want to spoil everything, but
he's not gonna say too much, but you know what that means, y'all. Go ahead and tune in. Tap in.
Exactly.
Where can they where can they find the short film? When's the next screening? Because I know you mentioned it was screened at Moving Frames. So when's the next time will people have the opportunity to see it?
That's interesting. Well, we are looking into submitting it to other film festivals, so we don't have like tentative dates right now. But I can say that whenever we do get into the next festival and we have those firm dates, just be on the lookout. On my IG, I'll definitely post the dates and have that available ahead of time. But I'll think about it. We may or may not. I mean, if I think about it, we may or may not screen it at the next Moving Frames. I can say that. We're actually planning on having our next Moving Frames in May of next year. We're hoping to launch Moving Frames like during our
month. Haitian, we're on Moving Frames right now. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the journey of you, like you and your co-founders creating that film festival. The first one this year, man. So what's the mind, like what's the purpose behind it?
The purpose of Moving Frames is to showcase Haitian creativity and talent in the film industry. The genesis of the idea was basically like, through my experiences for the last couple of years, especially as I like stepped deeper into my DP role, I'm getting to work with more directors and I'm getting to meet more people. And I just kept noticing a trend of like, here's a Haitian filmmaker, has an amazing film, amazing story, an amazing person, who has very finite options as far as like where they get to showcase their work. Yeah. And I just, living in Miami, I just couldn't help but notice like,
it's not a space just for
us. Yeah. Nah, which is weird.
Yeah. And we're South Florida.
We're here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are here. Like we're all over.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a space for us. There's a space for everybody else, you know what I'm saying, without saying names, but not necessarily for us. And I just kept thinking about like what's the real reason why, like, and I went through maybe the last 2 years where I just kept getting to work on these projects. I even myself have made like a couple films with Haitian filmmakers, and it's great work. Yeah. And it wasn't until, and especially last year, I got to go to Haiti to work on a narrative film. I was an AC in that position, assistant cameraman, but still, like, I'm literally walking around Haiti, and we're filming a Haitian story, and then it was an amazing story. Shouts out to Elise. There's a Tropic Sun. The Tropic Sun.
Shout out to my frat bro, Elise, my brother.
Tropic Sun in his eyes, and it's a wonderful film. I can't wait to see it like come out, and like we did something so beautiful with that film. And then I'm coming back home, and I worked on he was part of our panel, Joshua Jean's film, Jean Baptiste. I worked on his film. I'm not going to put the name out yet because it hasn't come out yet. I'm not sure what his rollout is, but I worked on his film as a camera operator, and I'm like, yet again, like, here's another amazing Haitian director. So it was on his set that it dawned on me, like, you know what, like, whenever I do my next film, like, I know I'm going to have a screening, but I was like, I could pivot. Instead of just making about my film, I could just invite everyone in. Wow. Because the components are all the same. I mean, we just need a screen, we need a theater, and just pivot. Instead of making it just about me, instead of making it just about my film and what my crew did, we just open it up, open up the floodgates, allow other directors to come in, showcase their films, and make it happen. Wow. So I just kept thinking to myself, like, is it that simple, or is there something like I'm missing?
And it's simple as it's
simple. Yeah. All you gotta do is just be willing and invite people in. They'll show up.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Where's the applause? Oh, wait, wrong soundbite. Wrong soundbite. And bro, that's amazing too. And I can only imagine like going to Haiti as well, and just how you're just like, wow, I'm here. I'm in the country, and you're Haitian as well, the roots, and now you're like, why not like help people outside of that? You know what I'm saying? Going back to Florida and tying in like the other filmmakers and just providing a space for them to just showcase their work. Yeah, that's crazy. And then I know you're spotlighting like the film fest is spotlighting other Haitian like filmmakers. Like there's some people that like I didn't know there was like so much of a I should say like a Haitian filmmaker community.
Exactly.
That I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
the problem.
Of course, exactly. That is a problem. And of course, me being Haitian American, like being Haitian, period, it's just you just don't meet them as often. You're like one of the first people, and knowing that there's other Haitian filmmaker creatives out here that are just creating things of substance, doing great storytelling and sharing a story. That's amazing. And now, y'all, we have Moving Frames here for all Haitians, creatives and storytellers, y'all. This is amazing, right? This is super dope.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and so like, how was the reception, the feedback that you and the team like received from the first one?
The reception was crazy. I didn't expect that much reception, because it's like I had a good feeling about it. That's why I did it. But then you just never know. Yeah. So I had a lot of days where I sort of like kind of worried about like, okay, what's the reception going to be? Do people actually want to see our films, or is this something that I'm just thinking to myself will be successful? I just overthink it a lot. But luckily for me, one of the things I'm learning right now is to sort of allow myself to lean on my community, lean on the people that believe in me, and the people that want to help me get things done, and vice versa. So the the other founder of Moving Frames, Holden Nicholas, like really
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Holda. She really empowered me to get the festival done. Really empowered to help me get the festival done, and she sort of created the infrastructure we needed to facilitate that process. So as soon as we got all that sort of logistical work done on our end, and we started marketing, people showed up, and it kind of caught like wildfire, which is interesting because from face value you would think that there's not much going on, because a lot of our communications and things like that and the support we got was sort of like off of social media. So I'm like, you'll
be surprised like where like your post or flyers or promotion or marketing reach, like how far it goes to reaching people.
Exactly. So we're putting things out on social media like flyers and stuff like that, but then people are supporting us in the background, like they're contacting Holda and me like directly, like through text messages, like, oh, you're doing a blah blah blah, cool, I'll pull up. And it's like, oh, okay. So like if you go to our page, Moving Frames Fest on IG, you'll see how much support we're getting right now. But it's like beforehand, before the page was even up, before the page even had any followers, it was like we were getting so much love like behind closed doors. It was like that was really what helped me like push through to get it done. People donated to us, like we started asking people for donations, and it's the first time I've had to do something like that to create an event. Again, like being okay with asking for help from your community. You'd be amazed at how much they will actually support
willing to support the cause and what you're doing.
And then that's when I sort of understood like, oh, there is a need and a want for this film festival, because people, like, as soon as they heard like, oh, it's going to be Haitians, like especially other Haitians, they were just like, yeah, we're there. We have 5 tickets. Let me get 6 tickets. I just got 6 tickets, but are there any left? Like, we sold out in 3 days. 3 days, just like that. Amazing. And I'm sitting there getting those Eventbrite emails, ding,
back
ding,
to
ding,
back,
ding,
hourly.
Ding,
you're
I'm
like,
just like, oh, y'all really pulling up. Like, y'all really pulling up for the Haitian films. Like, oh my goodness. So it was very validating. It was very validating. And then also the directors that I reached out to are Haitian directors that I had
previously worked with.
I've previously worked with them in many different capacities, not always like as a DP, but sometimes I'll just be helping them on set just because I love their work, or I loved them as a person. And as soon as I let them know, they're super supportive as well, because again, like, some of them don't even really get the opportunity to showcase their work. And we had amazing projects on there. Like, there's still something for everybody. We had comedies, dramas. Like thrillers in there, poetic films. Visual poems, I would call them. There was something for everybody, and everyone left feeling like empowered. It was a beautiful time. Like, I really, like, I'm still processing it at this point.
I mean, I could only imagine. And one thing like that stood out is community. So the community came out, the Haitian community came out, others as well came out to support Moving Frames and what you're doing. And so my follow-up question is, how is the film community here in like South Florida?
Oh, it's popping. Like, it's alive and well. And it's alive and well. And like right now we're in a period where I'll especially say like Broward County. Broward County and Miami, they're really pushing for more like industry work to come down here, like bigger projects. And things like that, and things like that, because the support is here. It's just a matter of getting, I guess, the industry's attention still. Because there are things like, I don't want to get too in the weeds about it, but there are things like tax incentives and things like that have sort of disappeared.
I did hear from, like, when I was at the Urban Film Festival, somebody mentioned that to me. Like, Atlanta film scene is going crazy, and the taxes. That was another thing she mentioned. She's like, the taxes there. That's why people are just coming like a wildfire. Wildfire.
But even that is changing. So the industry is like shifting around a lot now. So I mean, this is just my theory, but like I sort of see what's happening here is like everyone sort of needs to start pivoting to finding ways to create their own opportunity and bring resources to them, and then sort of disseminating from there. So I think like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, if you're waiting for somebody to pick you, it's probably not gonna
Yeah.
Probably gonna be waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is again why I think like even having a platform like Moving Frames is important, because it's still it's we cater to a wide audience, but it's niche in the fact that it's Haitian films.
Yeah.
And I feel like our stories are, because our perspectives are very different from other people's. We have a unique perspective in rearing.
Yeah.
So I feel like our stories are just as interesting as anyone else's. They're just as important. And we have just a unique perspective that when it comes out on film, it's something that I believe like really catches the eye and it has something special to say.
Facts. And so just to follow up to that, why is it important to share like the Haitian story, like Haitian perspective? Why is it important to share that to people all across?
Yeah, because I just feel like our stories, our voices are kind of like, I would say like lost in the diaspora. And I just think it's important not to forget how powerful we are as Haitians.
Yeah.
Like our lineage even, kind of lends itself to that, whereas, we were the first Black republic.
Yep.
We were the first Black republic in
Period.
the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
So I feel like we just that energy and that sort of pride is carried through and through. Like every generation, we sort of have that. Again, I would say like that
passion. That passion of who we are. Like we're loud. We're Haitian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I would say like it's important to just have space for ourselves. No matter how big the table is, I think it's important for us to just keep building tables for ourselves, and even if no one else cares, at least amongst each other, give each other that support to grow, because you never know where these things go.
Yeah. That's real. Shout out. That's amazing, bro. That is amazing what you're doing. And since we're on the topic of like Haitian films, what's your favorite Haitian film? Ooh. Talk about it. What is your favorite Haitian film?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. So last year I went to the New Orleans Film Festival. It's an international film festival. And there was a Haitian film in there. It's called Boats Like Paper Planes. Boats Like Paper. Yeah. I don't think many people have heard of it. It's definitely had its run in film festivals. But that's my favorite Haitian film. It's basically a film. It's filmed in Haiti. It's about a man who his wife leaves the country on a boat.
Yeah.
She leaves the country to head to the U.S. and the only thing he has of her is a cassette tape that she made for him. I don't know how old you are. If you remember back in the day, like people used to record the cassette tapes to send to Haiti.
Yeah.
Like you'd be on there like allo, c'est Anthony, blah, blah, and you'd send the cassette.
I might be too young, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I'm joking.
Were you born in the 2000s?
I think I am a 2000s baby. Sorry.
That's okay.
We're gonna edit this. We're all good.
That's okay. So you said So back in my day, you used to send little cassette tapes to Haiti.
Yeah.
And you just record a message on there and you'd send it, and it took like 20 days to get there, and then they would record something, they send it back.
I'm learning. Like I said, this whole experience, y'all learning.
So the evolution was we went from the cassette tapes to calling cards.
Yeah.
So calling cards were, you go to a gas station, get like a $5 calling card with the minutes on it.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
You scratch it off. Okay. Yep. And then those went away because we went to WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the cassette tape. So he gets this cassette. He has like a single cassette tape from his wife.
Yeah.
And basically, she's supposed to go to the United States, get her papers, get established, and then sent back because, to get her husband, and they have a daughter. They have like a toddler together. He's listening to this cassette tape from her, and she's just basically let him know, like, oh, the boat may have turned over, like, but I got it okay. I didn't drown or anything. Like, I'm all right. I'll get back to you, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to ruin the movie. Yeah. But then, months, weeks, days, months go by, and he never hears from her again. He just has this cassette tape. That's
ghosted,
the love.
Basically, y'all.
Yeah,
he just got ghosted.
Yeah, it's basically the love of his life, and he's just sitting there replaying this cassette tape over and over again, listening to her voice and just trying to remember her. But then he's overcome by grief because he's not hearing anything. I think she eventually sends over another cassette tape. He's happy to hear from her. He's like, all right, this is probably working out. And then same thing. Months goes by, years go by. He never hears from this woman ever again. He never hears from his own wife ever again. And we sort of watch this story take place where like we're watching the grief overcome him. Like you're watching,
you're seeing it slowly happen, like the stages of grief just hitting him like bam.
Yes, you're watching the stages of grief, and you're watching this man sort of you're watching him process. I wouldn't even say just grief. It's just the weight of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm. Basically, him going downward, like a downward spiral at this point.
Because he just has no idea. It's like, does she still love me? Does she run off with another man? Does this and that, and just the weight of that, like sort of, and then how it changes his character throughout the movie. It was just very poignant, and I just love how like it was made in Haiti. Yeah, it was very raw. It was made in Haiti, and it touches on like our culture because I never thought, because I used to send those cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of like grabs me. But then it's just like I never thought, because I was a child when I was sending those cassette tapes.
Yeah.
It's like I never thought about
the impact
of that tape and how someone probably experienced that like tragedy, that romantic tragedy based all around a cassette tape, something that I took for granted. Obviously as a kid, I was just having fun, just appreciating contacting people, but it's just important to know how something as small as a cassette tape can have like a completely different impact on somebody else's life. So that's my favorite Haitian story.
Yeah, I need to check it out. That's the beauty about like the film world, the film industry, the film community. Like, there's so many great stories that's being like spotlighted and shared. Like, it's just so many options and flavors. Really, yeah. So, man, I'm having a brain fart right now. But, I mean, what's your like upcoming or like what's your like long-term goal? Like in your career that you want to achieve, or like to a certain point, you're like, you wash your hands. You're like, I'm out. I'm done. I've reached my peak.
I mean, for me, that's still that changes throughout time. But I think for me, I just want to hit a point as a DP where I'm like telling the most beautiful stories that I can and assisting in that. I think like peak for me is like, I want to be the DP that like Apple calls. You know, they're like, we want a commercial.
Yeah,
you're the guy. You're the guy we want. Yeah, I just want to tell the most beautiful stories. Like I just want to be the DP of DPs. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the amazing goal. You know, like Deacons who? Like nah. You know what I mean? I want to be right up there.
Yeah.
Like Calix.
Yeah. No facts.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, yeah, I feel like once I hit that, like I want to pivot into something else. Cause for me, like I always say, I always quote my wife, Solange. You don't know who that is.
Wait, I know Solange. No, like,
yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so. I'm like Solange. At first, I didn't want to sue. Like Solange.
But yeah, I always quote Solange when I say when I say that when she says like I can't be a singular expression of myself. So I love cinematography, but there's so many layers to me.
That's dope.
That I know that, let's say like when I hit like 60 or
you get into set design.
Yeah. Whenever I don't feel like picking up a camera anymore, I can't. Like I want to pivot into like architecture or something. Like I always want to keep creating though. That's one thing I know. I always want to keep creating, and filmmaking, especially being behind the camera, has always given me this nice taste of balance of artistry versus like technical prowess.
Yeah.
And when I look at architecture, I kind of see that. So yeah, when I get old and I start getting dusty, I might be an architect. I might finesse and
get into that field.
Get into that too, make people mad. So
yeah, that's funny. You're gonna be like a 60 years old architect, man. He's doing it all.
Yeah.
And so with like you said, with your current role, it's like a balance of, you know, creativity and being technical, of course. What's your creative purpose?
My creative purpose?
Yeah, so like doing what you're doing, creating these platforms, like what fuels you? What's that creative purpose for you? For
me, it's like at the end of the day, I was given a gift, and I just want to glorify God with like all of my gifts. And one of the best ways I think I can do that is by utilizing my gift and just bringing His light into every room that I'm in.
Yeah.
So that also entails just doing my absolute best. I just feel like we're all kind of you're in a very privileged space if you even get to make art.
Facts.
There are plenty of people here. I mean, shit, I was in Haiti last year, so I got to see like how beautiful the country was, how resilient our people are, but then also, everyone's not rich out there.
Yeah.
I can say that. There is like a lot of like tragedy there as well, but inspiration too, because even despite the tragedy, you see how resilient our people are, you see how strong they are, you see how much they're able to make something from nothing. So I feel like I'm in a privileged position where I get to make art. And I feel like if I'm going to make the art, especially at a time like this where everyone sort of can call themselves whatever, I just feel obligated to make it the best I can and also understand the art form as well and keep it alive.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that right now we've democratized a lot of things. Like everyone has access to a camera, everyone has access to mics, and everyone can sort of theoretically do whatever they want. But I just like doing things the right way.
Yeah.
That's subjective, but I like making sure that I always sort of contribute to whatever I'm doing. Like keeping the art form sort of like
authentic.
Strong and authentic. Like I always, because I feel like when you're able to keep an art form authentic, there's something within yourself that you had to sort of find as well. So all the things that I do, I find growth through them, but I also find a piece of myself as well. So that's sort of also the push to just make sure, like, while I'm doing these things, I'm also growing personally by respecting the discipline, within a certain margin.
Respecting the art, the people that came before you, the pioneers, the one who basically set that foundation for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope. That's real too, man. Like, like you just mentioned, like people have access to so many things that kind of could harm the art of it, especially AI. So with that, with like AI being so prominent now, what's your thoughts on like AI in the film world? Has like that making an effect, an impact towards it, or are you for it for film, or are you just like, let's keep it authentic as possible? Let's have somebody grab a camera, like, come on, let's not lose that human touch.
For me, the AI thing is, I think it's. I don't know. I think it's very it's a very mixed conversation because for me, like, as much as I like the human touch on things, I do understand where it could be helpful potentially. Yeah. But what I really I don't know. It's also so new and it's changing every day.
It's like a double-edged sword. That's how I see AI as. It's like it's good and bad.
Yeah. I just think what the focus really needs to be on is remembering that at the end of the day, having access to more tools doesn't necessarily make anything better. It can help make things easier, but I feel like at the end of the day, we still need to keep film about people. We still need to keep film about art and not just making things to make them, like content.
It's fast food.
Right.
AI makes like work fast food, basically. It's where it's easy to create and it's out there, and you're basically killing the whole process, that film process, that whole journey to making something of substance.
Yeah, exactly. So I just like to think, like, wherever it can help, we should be more open to it, but then also just keep in mind, like, there's a balance to everything, like, and understanding, like, and also understand, like, what are the consequences of, like, what we're potentially giving up when we're introducing it. So I just like to keep it at that. And I think really the big thing for me is that I think my theory is it may be something that's kind of like a trend and falls off after a while, because I feel like, because you know how I was mentioning earlier, like, there's so many little decisions we make in pre-production with film or even on set that people may not even understand, but they can feel it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think with AI, this is just Anthony's theory, is like, I feel like it might have a hot streak right now, but I just think eventually people are gonna notice, like,
they're gonna catch on, and like, this is not a human.
Yeah,
there's a human behind this work.
There's nothing really here.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing really to chew on in this. And I feel like we're gonna get to a point where people are gonna be starving for something authentic, starving for something that has that human touch, because you really can't replicate it with AI. You can't. So it can make things, it can help you make things that have already, based on what's already been done, but like creating something so unique, and that's really a human trait, and I don't think you can really
depend on.
Yeah, I don't think you really can. I especially feel like in this day and age where we have social media and everyone's talking and there's so many voices, that are in our heads, in our minds, and on our phones that aren't even saying shit.
Yeah.
I just feel like
that's real.
Yeah, I just feel like AI just exasperates that, and I just feel like humans are eventually going to get to a point where they're just like, okay, who's actually saying something? Because there's a lot of noise, but who's actually saying something? And they may not even consciously say that, but they may just hit a point spiritually where they're just like, I don't know what it is about these things that I'm watching, but when I hear this person's voice, I like it. When I hear this person's voice, I like it.
Yeah.
And we'll just go over here. It may be just more of a natural sort of pivot. So I just like to see where it goes. It's like, I think companies are going to really push it, and they're gonna try to do the most without people, or try to, you know, scrunch these budgets more. But I just feel like eventually we're all gonna sort of pivot back to, okay, what's actually real? You know,
that's real. That's dope.
Thank you.
And like, I just want to add on too, because we're talking about like authenticity, real work, the current state of the film industry as well. How do you feel about the films that's been being released, the current films? And you know, we had a banger of Sinners that came out. Of course, everybody knows Sinners like movie of the year. Yeah. But we have like, just like, what's your thoughts on the current state of the film industry movies today?
I'm in a very like, I feel like it's kind of in an iffy space where it kind of harkens back to what I was saying about people wanting something authentic. Like Sinners was like an amazing movie and it grossed a lot of money. But at the end of the day, like, that movie definitely had spectacle, but it had a serious amount of substance and layers to it. And I feel like Sinners is a good example of what happens when people make something authentic that people can that actually resonates with people, because that was Ryan Coogler's like first like original script that he created. And it was a hit. And he's also one of the few like black directors that was able to have such a successful hit on an original project. So again, like, you know, black people saving industries again. I'm just saying.
That's like, real. That's real. Don't care. I mean, look, you see it. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like we're gonna keep having moments like that where it's like the underdog is gonna kind of win. Like I think studios are realizing that they can't keep throwing money at what they think works or
Dynasty films. We're throwing 50 mil onto Fast and Furious 8, 9, like John Wick. I haven't seen John Wick movies, but I've seen so many of them. Like why like so many showings of them, of course, but yeah.
I just feel like they're gonna start. Well, they're gonna have to understand that it's okay to make like a $5 million, $10 movie that has like a very simple but powerful story, and it does well at the box office. Yeah, we don't need to do the whole $200 million movie. Like it's not always, it's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable model, especially right now. Yeah. And I feel like things like that give me hope as a creator, because even as a Haitian, like a black Haitian creator, is like we grew up with that resilience. Like that's nothing. Like we're like, if you would have seen some of the projects at Moving Frames, like you would be surprised at the budgets these people had. Like you're watching these movies, you would have think this person had like a $50K budget or $25K budget, which is like nothing. But we made it with like a few homies, $300, and some Chick-fil-A. And we made something that people are loving, enjoying, and showing up for, and cheering and clapping their hands for, and it's being done. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, I'm looking forward to more films made with like smaller budgets. Like instead of spending $250 million on like one movie, you make 20 movies with that same amount, and they're just as good and people love them. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that, because I know how to make shit shake. Like I know how to take 100 and make it. You know what I'm saying? And that again is like the power of like community. Yeah. Because a lot of those films that we showcase at Moving Frames were made by the community. Like even when you saw the credits, like we've heard people's comments about Moving Frames where they're like, hey, we kept noticing a pattern in the credits. They're like, we're seeing the same names pop up in the credits, and it's just like,
from like all the different films like there.
Yeah, all the different films. Okay, we were intermingled in all of each other's credits. Because we got it done with community, and it's like where you don't have money, you know, or resources, you sort of leverage skill, or you know, in this case, like community. Like even the making of my film Rewrite, it was
Yeah.
like we I got a grant from the Brown Cultural Division, which helped a lot.
Dope.
But filmmaking is expensive.
Yeah.
So I still had to lean on so many people. Even the restaurant we filmed in, shouts out to Jimmy's Diner on like 125th in North Miami. Like
Shout
that
out.
guy, it's also a restaurant owned by a Haitian man. Like he looked out for me. I kind of just explained to him what was going on. I needed the help. I don't really got much to give you, bro.
Yeah, being
but if you
real.
could please, and I had to sort of just show him the vision. And again, it's that Haitian community, because I've never met that guy before, but he was just willing to take a chance on me.
Yeah.
And give us a whole restaurant that looked amazing on film. A location that he rents that place out. He was telling us he rents it out for commercials and stuff like that. He does it for thousands a day. But he was willing to let me come in and give him the change out my back pocket and help me get that done. And then, again, leaning on community. Now we got a restaurant. I hit up my other homeboy. He has lights. I'll take his lights. I hit up my mentor. He has some lenses that he can give me. I hit up my other homeboy. He has a camera. All right, bro, can you help me out? How much?
We got a production at this point. We got a production.
And now we got lights. We got cameras. All right, we good. And then that's where investing the time in learning the technical stuff really helped me out
to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, because now I can put all that together and I can understand. When you understand the foundational knowledge of what you're doing, you can always replicate it. Like some of those lighting setups that I did with like $20 of muslin from Joann's Fabrics and some and like a couple of lights.
Yep.
And it just worked because I understood what I was trying to replicate, even if I didn't have those tools. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
No, you answered it. The next question was about budgeting and how do you make it work, but clearly community makes it work. Community makes it happen.
Exactly.
And so my follow-up question is, what does it mean to you to represent Haiti in the film industry? Because you're in the space, you're in the world, and you're representing Haiti. So
dang, I never thought about representing Haiti.
Because you low key, you high key are you really are. Because
in a way,
in the film industry, there's so many people of a variety of backgrounds. There's so much cultures behind it. So and especially in South Florida, it's a melting pot of creators, a melting pot of filmmakers, directors, videographers, and you're Haitian, so you're representing Haiti.
I mean, everywhere I go, I do think about in the industry that I am a Haitian man. So I always kind of take that. I always kind of take that pride and that strength with me, because I know where what our people have overcome.
Yeah.
So I always put that into perspective, and it just keeps me going. It just keeps me grounded, but keeps me in a place where I understand these people can't really stop me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me just get my toe in the door. I'll get in there. I'll figure it out.
Exactly.
You know I'm gonna put pressure on them. It was the same thing. I almost in every career that I've taken, even at the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't really much people that looked like me, and same thing with the films industry as well. So it just helps me have perspective, and understand that no matter what hardship I'm facing in the industry, like this too, shall be overcome.
Yeah, that's real, man.
Yeah.
We're resilient.
Exactly.
Shout out to us, man. Shout out to us. And my follow-up question is, what advice would you give to a young person that wants to get their foot into the film world, the film industry, be a director of photography, being a cinematographer? What advice would you give them?
The advice I would give them is to, one, take the craft very seriously. That's where I always say being self-taught is an amazing thing. Taking initiative to understand and learn about what you're actually doing. And then I would say, again, just to mirror my career path, I would say be willing to work for free so you can get into the rooms, because when you're first starting out, you really don't have anything to negotiate with. You're nobody. And these things are, the film industry is really all developed. It's all relationship based. So it's you can be the most skilled person, but if you don't have the relationships, no one cares.
Yeah.
You don't get the work. You don't get invited into certain places. You really got to go in and make real, authentic relationships. Not like industry relationships, but try to get people on your side. Try to get people to actually learn about you, to understand who you are, and actually become friends.
Yeah.
You know, like really build yourself like a village of people you can trust. So in the beginning, like, yeah, you gotta humble yourself. Be willing to go fetch coffees.
Yeah.
Be willing to get yelled at over some shit that has nothing to do with you. You know, it just happens. Like, take your L's, take your licks, and just keep it moving so you can figure out where your way in is. You know, because I would say even for me, like, in the camera department in South Florida, there's not many people that look like me in the camera department.
Yeah.
There's like 6 black guys. We all know each other.
Yeah.
And we all get mistaken for each other, too, which is crazy.
That's actually insane, but that's
yeah.
a whole discussion for another episode.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll just say, like, just be willing to also humble yourself so you can learn from these people. Like, getting next to somebody that's like 10 to 20 years ahead of you really helps accelerate your learning and also validates what it is that you are actually learning. Because there are there are a few books I definitely like spent my money on, was learning. I was just like, oh, this is all old stuff no one is doing. So this ain't even worth my time.
Yeah.
You know, it's that sort of stuff. It helps sort of fine tune your approach. It helps sort of like guide where you're aiming yourself, you know.
Yeah, you just gave me some gems just now as well. Just like someone in my where I'm at here, I'm trying to like further my career basically in the media coverage, podcasting as well. That's something I'm gonna utilize myself.
Yeah,
so that's real. I appreciate you, man. And so with that being said, man, we got come on. Man, shout out to Anthony, man. I really appreciate you for being on the podcast as well. Where can viewers and people find you at, and as well as the festival? What's the social media? Any websites, or where can they find you?
So you guys can find me on Instagram at Calix on the Rocks. You can find our Moving Frames at the first annual Haitian Film Festival. You can find that on IG as well. Moving Frames Fest, FEST. That's our Instagram handle. If you want to look at my portfolio, you can head over to otrcinema.com. That's Oscar Tango Romeo Cinema.com.
Yeah, no, exactly. So appreciate you again, brother, for being on the podcast, man. And what you're doing, what the team of Moving Frames is doing is amazing. And want to just give you your flowers, brother. So appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Of course. Exactly. So with that being said, you guys, before you get off, like, subscribe, make sure to share this with a friend, and peace. Thank you guys again. Peace.